Hi Abhishek, a very warm welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good, Kripal. How are you doing?
I'm also trying to pull along. It's the summer season right now. It's very hot.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm in Mumbai, so we can debate about the humidity, I think.
There is this Mumbai versus Delhi debate that's going on and on right on Instagram, on LinkedIn.
Yeah, yesterday, I think if you see, there was another debate called Chennai versus Bangalore. So if
Eventually,
you,
Bangalore did win.
yeah. I was supporting Bangalore, man. I
Even I
mean,
was supporting
if-
Bangalore.
yeah, because I mean, you have to support the underdog, right? So we want
Exactly.
Bangalore to win.
And I was very tired of watching CSK win again and again, again and again. It was really tiring.
Same.
Also, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You were saying,
being from, I mean, I've been supporting Mumbai because of Sachin, and
wow,
I'm still supporting Mumbai Indians. So that's why I really wanted Chennai to lose. On a
wow.
lighter.
That's a funny way. That reminds me of the corporate cultures as well, but where they make you write that are you a part of PwC in a lot of
Ah,
companies.
yeah,
Yeah. About Mumbai though, I read that in the past 3 days there have been hailstorms. There have been a lot of this thing disturbances
yeah,
in the climate. Is it
yeah.
really bad over there
Uh,
currently?
It was there. I mean, it was there for a couple of days only. Then it's the same old Mumbai, the
It's fine
humidity.
again. I mean, the this thing
Yeah,
heat
it's
is
fine.
gone. There's no rains out there.
No,
No
no,
early
no.
premature monsoon.
Just few showers, man. That's it.
Few
That
showers.
too, if I can recall, for 2 days only. That too in the evening for an hour, I think.
For an hour, then that's cool. That's cool. I was a little surprised that monsoons came early. But setting aside the raining of this thing, monsoons, what about the raining of money in your career right now? You're currently at delivery
Uh,
as a senior manager. What about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Speaking about the money thing, I have joined delivery, and that's one of the other reason why I was supporting RCB because we are the sponsor for
Yeah,
delivery as
yeah, yeah, yeah.
delivery
No,
is a sponsor for RCB as well,
yeah,
so
yeah, 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 yeah.
we had
Now
to
it
do
makes
that.
sense. Now it makes sense. So delivery was the role you landed right out of campus.
Yeah. So I completed my MBA from my Mumbai,
Yeah,
formerly known as NITIE.
yeah.
I mean, we graduated. Still, we haven't received our degree yet. I mean, we are yet to get our convocation. But yeah, I joined on 29th of April.
29th
So
of
I'm
April.
still things are very new and weird. So I'm still
What is
figuring it
the
out. So.
what is the role that you are occupied in? Like, what are you taking care of as a senior
Yeah.
manager?
Yeah, they have a different supply chain. Supply chain as a service is their business model. Logistics as a
Yeah,
service,
yeah, yeah.
and they had different. I mean, I'll not get into the technicality of it because then it would be too much boring for people. But I'm currently looking after the first mile and last mile. That's a part of supply chain for a
Gotcha.
particular region. So I'll be based out of Ahmedabad.
Mm-hmm.
Within a week, I'll join my base location,
Mm-hmm.
and so I need to make sure that my center doesn't bleed and you're matching all the KRAs and
Yeah.
delivering the happiness to people and
Exactly,
things like
exactly.
that.
That is what the objective is. But what is your this thing role if I talk about it from a day-to-day perspective? What do you exactly do when you talk of taking care of first man and last man?
Yeah. So basically so I'll be joining Ahmedabad. It's a hub.
Hmm.
So whatever goods that you're ordering from, let's say Amazon, Flipkart, so
Hmm.
they are coming from delivery. So delivery is their partner for
Yeah.
some of the sellers, and there are companies, let's say Voltas or Swiggy. So delivery is also managing their fulfillment centers. So they're giving services to different businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is to make sure that we are on the right track to deliver the goods and maintain the operational KPIs throughout the day. And I'm still figuring it out how I'm going to learn those different things, and then I'll start adding values to the company. Currently, we are still at the training period of
Induction level. Yeah.
induction level and stuff like that. But at the end, like I said, I need to make sure that my center doesn't bleed. My center, when I say it has a capacity of around 3 to 4 lakhs boxes per day. So they are managing 3 to 4 lakhs of boxes per day.
Wow, wow,
So
wow. By
so
bleed,
yeah,
you mean that you might not want your this thing hub to lead to a higher lead time. Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
what
yeah.
you're trying to imply?
Yeah, there are a lot of things, not only lead time, but people are dependent on you. There are truck drivers, people who are working with us, and even the business partners, even the sellers, and everyone is dependent on us. So, and the customers, right? So they let's say Amazon has promised you that will deliver your parcel within 2 days, and if we are messing it up, then we need to get the backlash from the client as well as the customer. So at the end, we need to give happy, good service to the people.
I mean, I'm not sure if I'm trying to be a little too intricate over here, but in that condition, in that clause, when Amazon is promising to a customer that, okay, within one day you'll get your good, and you guys fail to comply with that requirement. So what happens? Like the entire contract will be revoked, or a certain part of the
No.
fee will not be given?
No, it depends from case to case. So depends on the volume of order and depends on the client as well. And we had different contexts, but mostly because of the peak season. I mean, Diwali season or any big billion day or the Great Indian Festival, you can call it. So at that time the volume is very high, and so that time it is difficult to manage that. But the company is really trying well to make sure that
Work with
the
all the
promise that the promise date, we also promise and commit dates to the customer, or let's say to the client.
client.
So we make sure that we fulfill that.
So for now, the model is restricted exclusively to B2B. There's no this thing two ways about it.
No, so B2B, so like I said, so there are different models: B2B, B2C, C2C. So
C2C.
yeah, so you can also deliver, I mean, you can also
Like
deliver
Uber
goods
parcel.
from your,
I know.
yeah, porter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
can send your courier to any other location if you are I mean, if you are going back to your home place and if you want to travel or maybe shift your luggage to some place, so
Exactly.
that also you can do. And
Delivery.
supply chain as a service, as I mean, they are also giving end-to-end supply chain solutions. There is a thing called full truckload as well. So where companies, they prefer that, and delivery will make sure that efficiently they'll transport your goods from one location to another location by being cost efficient as well. So people, I mean, it's a very big asset owned business by delivery, and they're doing a very great job right now. So I'm very excited for that.
Wow,
I
wow,
don't
wow.
know about the money part yet. Let's see.
Logistics as an industry happens to be the only one which is not vulnerable to change in technology. That is what a little bit about what I figure out. It might get
Yeah.
better with the onset of AI, etc. But the constant supply chain, this thing, you will never
Yeah.
see it being impacted by technology. Am I making sense when I say that?
Yeah, so things are different here. So delivery is a tech-enabled company. So when I joined, they used to tell me that we are tech-enabled, and then I went on floor and I could see that they're using the technology very well. That they could track their shipments throughout the warehouse. They can track it anywhere. They're using the facilities fully automated. You don't have to. There are very limited human intervention, and
Wow.
the way they're using data is very like pretty much. I mean,
The
commendable. So
WMS is really nice. Warehouse management services. That's what it is.
and they all of these things, their tools, they build it in-house. So
In-house. Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
their
the reason they have a
R&D
lot of
is
openings for Java developers, etc. Delivery. Uh-huh.
yeah.
So talking about your stint, I'll call it a stint because it's only been a 1 month since you're at delivery. But before that,
No, only
not
3 weeks.
even 1 month, 3 weeks.
Like I said, it's still induction period.
Yeah, yeah, still.
So I'll
So
I'll join the location, and then maybe we can figure it out
probably
how
have
I
an insightful discussion. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So before we move along with your professional journey, so before you landed at IIM Bombay, IIM Mumbai, I'll call it Mumbai for all the political reasons. So before you landed at IIM Mumbai, what was your career trajectory like? How
Yeah.
were you so sure about pursuing an MBA?
Yeah, so I did my very typical thing. You don't know what you want to do in life, so I did BTech, my engineering, and so during my engineering, I had a chance to work with Adani Ports for a year because of the live project thing. So during our final years, I was working with them on a live project. So I saw how things are there. I mean, how they are managing the whole business, and I went to their Hazira, the facility that they have in Hazira, the Hazira port. And I saw how they are managing things and how the goods are moving, and I mean, the scale at which they were operating that time. I was fascinated by it. And my father is a businessman, and I always had a thing for business from school days. So end goal is to learn each and every aspect of business. So after COVID, my joining got delayed. So I worked few months with my father for with our family business, and I joined a startup to learn more about the AR/VR technology. The startup was called Melzo, and it was they had different products for different sectors, and I was working there as a product marketer, and that's how I explored marketing, and I fell in love with marketing. So I still have I mean, if you think from that point of view, the reason why I joined any B school or I was thinking of doing an MBA was to get into the marketing or get into the business and strategy point of view. So and then I got a chance to be with IIM Mumbai, and so basically I had a little debate with my friends why should I go there, because I wanted to get into marketing, but then they exposed me to supply chain. Being a mechanical engineer, I was always exposed to operations, and I had worked with Adani as well, so I knew how things are in operations and how you have to get your hands dirty, right? So you have to go on the floor and work. So when I joined IIM Mumbai, I was really fascinated by supply chain and operations. And not gonna lie, and I was very amazed by the fact that we have a lot of LMs who are working in supply chain and operations, and they are the ones, I mean, who are making a lot of money first, and second, they are actually creating an impact. I mean, if you pick any company, if you pick HUL, PNG, Marico, any FMCG company, any logistics company, if you pick, and if you ask them how many people from your supply chain department are from NITIE or IIM Mumbai, majority of them are from our college. So you see, from start only, they make us understand what is supply chain, and I mean, we know the basics, but they'll make sure that you learn what is the importance of supply chain, and that made me really think about my obsession with marketing. So that's how I did my specialization in marketing as well as operation and supply chain. So
You made a very interesting remark about letting go of your natural interest in pursuit of something that's very rational. You mentioned that it is a true this thing transgression when you project your interest from mechanical engineering to supply chain ops to finally landing this thing role in IIM Mumbai.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you think about the trade-off? How can people get better at analyzing that? That I should let go of marketing and pursue supply chain ops because you were initially interested in it.
I think it depends. You need to experience both, right? So you can't make a choice. I mean, then you'll be regretted. I mean, I think it's like we had a poem in English. It's like the road not taken, right? So you don't have to go there and just
Was
regret
it by
that.
Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken?
I am not very sure about that, but I read in English. I mean, I think in literature, I think we had that. So it's like that only. So just because I thought marketing is my true calling and I was very fascinated by marketing is because I did marketing only. And then when I got into supply chain, I thought this is something new. Also, like my summer internship was also with Medtronic. It's one of the biggest medtech giant. They manufacture medical equipments. So I was also working with them in supply chain only. And I also did my live project with CAD. So I took my time to understand why I should get into supply chain. And marketing is also, so I learned how to communicate the products and our offerings to the customer. Now I'm learning how the company is manufacturing the products and how they are moving their goods. So I've been to the other side of the business. Now I'm in the back end, understanding how the
Yeah,
business is
front
going.
and back end. That's what I was about to say. So taking your time and taking that, getting your hands dirty on the floor. These
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
two takeaways of getting better at taking decisions. We will talk about IIM Mumbai as a facilitator of making you better at supply chain ops as well. But before that, what about your CAT exam taking strategy? How did it all
Uh,
go about?
yeah. So like I said, so the reason why I wanted to get into CAT, or even though why I didn't know anything about CAT. I was in second year or third year, I think, of my BTech, and I met my brother. He's a consultant at Deloitte right now, and he made sure that I should be aware of all the things that are going on in life. And one of them was CAT. He said, if you really want to go out and do something great, if you don't want to get into any technical field, then you should at least check out CAT and look into the different people who are working in IIMs and how they're doing in life. Am I? Your video
You're
was little.
perfectly visible and audible. There's no problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason why I picked CAT was him, and I gave my first attempt in 2020 in COVID. So I'll tell you. So the reason, my brother was the reason why I gave CAT, but I didn't have anything in my hand. So it was like make it or leave it, right? Take it or
Make it
leave
or
it
break.
kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So the desperation you could see on my results as well, because I was very desperate to get into CAT. I was so desperate to crack CAT and get into IIMs. So I had no other options to, and so that was my first biggest mistake. I think it is, you should make sure that you always have better options, and plan B you should always have, because otherwise you'll be so hard on yourself. And you know, even after CAT, there are different exams, SNAP, NMAT, CMAT. Even CMAT, I had given CMAT because I didn't know what to do in life. So at that time, I realized, no, that's not how it should be. I shouldn't just give everything of myself to one exam and, you know, put everything aside and just focus on that, because otherwise, I mean, I was at very bad phase at that time. So that's how I joined a startup, because A, I'll learn about the business. B, I'll get some more time to figure it out what I really want to do. And so my exam was nearby. So in 2021, I started in June. Uh, at 2020, during 2020, it was very clear that my basics were right, but my strategy was wrong. So in CAT, it is very important to pick the right question, right? So I spent a lot of time to understand, first of all, my weaknesses and strengths, the areas that I was very good at. For example, I was very good at LR. So the types of question that I have solved till now. So I analyzed mocks, and I saw the different chapters that I was very good at. So I did a thorough analysis of the things that I have done, the mocks that I had given in 2020, and then I started my preparation back in I think June 2021. So it was very clear I had to give my best. I had no targets in my mind. I was very happy at my job, and if I don't, if at that time I was thinking, if I don't crack it, then it's fine. I'll do something else. I was about to get a promotion as well. So I was very happy about that. So I went there with a clear mind, and I mean, before the D-Day, I had my third slot for CAT. I had a panic attack. I asked my friend to drop me at the center, you know, the typical anxiety. I was about to throw up, but he made sure that I was there at the center. And I was like, yeah, aa gaya time. It's the D-Day. And I'm very Bollywood and filmy. So it's just SRK that is going on in my mind at that time. You're
70
like,
minutes.
you just 70 minute, yeah, man. So 70 minute was going through. I mean, I was just, SRK was my true motivator at the time. So I just closed my eyes and gave it a shot, man. When I came back from the center, I had no clue how my exam went, because you don't know, because maybe
It's a
the paper,
subjective experience,
it
right?
might
Yeah.
be difficult for you, it might be easier for someone else, and there are different you know, sections
Parameters.
as well. And mine was a third slot. So, you know, people will tell ki third slot hai, aakhri hai, so they had a privilege
It will be a
because
very difficult
they,
one.
they saw the paper style of first and second slot.
Yeah.
But so that's CAT for me. So if
That's
you
how
want to
painful.
list down the takeaways, don't ever rely on a single exam. Don't give too much of yourself to a single, you know, thing. Because I've seen people going and going crazy just because of an exam. It's a very important thing, but life is a very big span. No, it's just a very small part of your life. So I'm not a philosophical kind of a person, but
But
if you see the
Abhishek,
frustration.
yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Yeah. So if you want to see the frustration, you should go to any of the Facebook pages. I remember I used to follow iConta's Facebook page. You could
There
see
is
people,
Pagal guy as well, right? Yeah.
yeah, Pagal guy as well, but there is a specific community
Yeah.
which has been created by iConta, and they used to, people used to share their experiences, how many, you know, years they have spent just to crack an exam, and it is very difficult because they know what is lying there on the other side. But this journey, we stop living ourselves, and we, like I said, it's the routine. You have to go work for 10 to 12 hours, come back, give mocks, and, you know, analyze mocks. So it's very tough, but you should also keep in mind that you always have bigger options, I mean better options in your life. If not CAT, maybe there are other options that you can, you know, avail.
Life is a wider spectrum than just one single examination, right, Abhishek?
Yeah, yeah.
But one reason why most of the people are obsessed with that one examination is because that one examination might be the escape that they're looking for from the clutches of
Yeah,
poverty, from the clutches of being a middle class guy. You didn't have that problem because you come from a business family, but most of the people out there have
yeah,
that problem, that we don't have enough wealth. That is the only route of getting ahead.
yeah,
Maybe it's a very subjective thing at the end of the day.
yeah. It is very so. If I tell you how much I used to make when I joined a first job, you'll be shocked. So I also the reason why anyone will look into or even think of cat was to make money and
Exactly.
do better in their life. That is true. I totally understand. But the other thing is you will be so underconfident if you don't like crack the cat at the first attempt, or the process is very difficult. You might end up hating yourself
Mm-hmm.
just because you couldn't crack a single exam. So
Very true.
I know it's very big thing. People, I have friends who are working in TCS, and they had a very good amount, big switch. They switched to consultants, and even me, I was working in a very small scale startup. We just had 50 members, and look at me. I mean, where I am right now. So it's a very subjective thing, but if I can,
But the
like,
only
from my,
takeaway is life is wider, right?
yeah,
Yeah, makes
don't,
sense. And about the kind of colleges that you were shortlisted at, why did you exclusively go after IMB? IMB as in IIM Bombay, IIM Mumbai, yeah.
so when you say IMB,
It
so
takes you to
even,
Bangalore.
yeah, I was like, man, I need to tell this guy I didn't make it to Bangalore. I can't even think about Bangalore. But no, I'm from Mumbai. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very clear cut decision for me. So I had calls from CAPS and New AMs and BBMs, but the only competitor for me was I mean, the only decision that I had to make was Shillong and NITIE at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talked to different people, the alums and even the current, I mean, the present students at that time, they said you're not going to a bad place. I mean, even if you pick NITI or even if you pick Amshillong, you're going to a better place. So either way, you can pick one. So considering I was an engineer, most of them said that you should go and get into NITI. And there were probabilities that NITI might be, getting an IM tag, and which it did. And I was very happy. I could see the transition when I was in the campus. I could see how we got how we rebranded from NITI to IIM Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
So, and keeping the ROI in mind, it has always been one of the major selling point of NITI, the ROI, and uh, and the operations heavy, I mean, roles that we have at a NITI, and you get to spend your time and live for 2 years in Mumbai, the financial capital of India. And even I, coming from a dreamy background, I always had thing for Mumbai, and because of Bollywood. So that's how.
Sapno ka shahar
Very,
Mumbai. That's what the thing
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. I watched Wake Up Sit at that time, and I was like, no, no, I have to.
That's nice. This is exactly what I do. You know what I watch to get into Mumbai? It's Gehraiyan. Have you watched Gehraiyan?
No, no.
So that is what I used to, convince myself that Mumbai is the place where I need to be. But talking of IIM Mumbai, so a little bit about the ROI. Before being converted into IIM, NITI's
Yeah.
fees was 6 lakhs per year.
No, man. Who said that? No, it's the fees that I paid was 14.63, 14
So that's
lakhs.
7
I
lakhs
mean,
per year.
yeah.
7 lakhs per year. And after being converted into IIM, was there a sharp hike in the fees as well?
Yes. I think it's around 21, 22, if I'm not wrong.
Wow. So that's from 7 to 11. Wow.
Yeah. Because when you get your, when you get I am tag, you are self-sufficient. No, so government will not fund you. So
Mm-hmm.
you get your
So
money
NITI was
from
previously government funded, now it's autonomous.
partially funded, if I'm not wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't really comment on that because I'm not very sure about that. But yes, the fees has increased.
Sharply
And
increased.
so people, so NITI was only allowing engineers to apply. So I'll tell you the history. So they were offering three courses. One of them was PGDI, which was through GATE. It's
Mm-hmm.
called, I mean,
Postgraduate diploma
uh,
in
yeah, in industrial engineering. And
industrial.
second was industrial management, which is people like me who had given CAT and they got through it. And third was sustainability management. So people who are from GMAT, GRE, even CAT, and even GATE, all of them can apply to sustainability. So those were the three different programs. But now, when we were in first year, we had this three different streams. But when we were in the second year, we had to pick two different streams, the specialization. So it was mandatory for industrial engineering guys to pick operation and supply chain as one of their specialization, and same for the SM guys. But we had a freedom; we can select anything because we were from CAT, and the degree that we'll be getting will definitely get is MBA only.
Wow, even that changed.
Yeah. So it's a very even the GATE people, it is required for the college to give them stipends as well. So they were also getting stipends as well. So from that point of view, ROI is very important selling point for NITIE.
So Abhishek, you were mentioning that the kind of courses that are offered at IIM Mumbai happen to deal mostly with engineers. So when you talked of sustainable program, that program where people can get in through CAT, and then you talked about industrial management as well. So after the transition, the sustainable guys were also getting an MBA. You guys were also getting an MBA.
Yeah, even the industrial engineering guys, they are also getting an MBA, but they'll get MBA, and it will be operation and supply chain. We'll get just MBA, and the SM guys will get MBA in sustainability management.
Acha, that is a very sharp distinction. And now after the transition to becoming IIM Mumbai, what are the programs that will be offered over there?
Same three programs: MBA General Management, MBA OSCM, Operations and Supply Chain Management, and third would be MBA SM.
MBA Sustainable, this thing, third one.
Yeah, Sustainability Management.
And but the requirement of you clearing through GATE, that will be eliminated, right?
Yeah. It has been eliminated last year only. From this year onwards, we will only get. If you want to get into IIM Mumbai, you just have to write CAT and you have to go about it.
Is that preference to engineers still persistent over there? Like, are engineers still preferred at the institution?
No. So that's what they want.
A lot of changes in 1 year, man. A lot of changes.
Yeah. So diversity is something that they are focusing right now. Not only in terms of gender. So
let's not get started about that. I'm Rohtak.
No. We are not going there. But when we say diversity, it's not only gender. We also want people from different backgrounds and different experiences. So that's what NITIE is trying to do. Bringing people from different backgrounds so that they'll ask and showcase companies that we have people from CA, CFA, even from arts background, so that they'll come and hire for different roles as well. So when you have engineers, you will. It is very difficult to pitch only engineers to the companies and ask them to hire for different roles. So if they are offering different roles, you need to offer different profiles as well. So that's why.
Wow. That makes sense. Offering different kinds of profiles in your batch. And what is the batch size like for every year?
Around 500, I think. Yeah.
500 combining all the three courses or per course?
Combining all the courses.
Combining all the three courses, 500. And after after the transition, it's still 500 or has it increased?
No, it's still the same, if I'm not wrong.
Still the same. That's cool. So building upon your experience at IIM Mumbai, how does IIM Mumbai really specialize with the fact that it can build your career in supply chain and operations? Like, we see a lot of IIMs which are specializing in finance and marketing, but how does this institute really take care of supply chain and all? What is that something that it really does or approaches differently?
I think so. It goes back to the foundation of NITIE. So it started as a training organization. So a corporate, they used to go there to get trainings. So then if you see any the perception of top B schools, if you think of A, if you think of B, even if you think of L, there are certain things that have the things that recruiters are thinking about your college. The brand perception they successfully built the NITIE guys, and it was very clear that we need to excel in operation and supply chain because of the engineers that we used to have, the flagship IE program, that is industrial engineering program. So because people are coming from GATE, we have a very strong technical background and expertise in different areas of engineering. So that's how companies, they have started to recruit from NITIE because of its history and legacy of knowing the corporate well, and even the government types that we have, and we have MOUs with different colleges. And research is something that NITIE really truly focuses on, and even our professors are doing a very good amount of research and publishing research projects. Even our college students, I mean, my batchmates were also involved in different live projects, and publishing white papers. So these are all the things that makes NITIE the operation mecca, I think.
The mecca of supply chain and operation. That's a very strong term. And how does this thing, the program, the curriculum achieve that? We understand there is a strong legacy behind, but what are the key aspects of the program that allow you to become a master of supply chain ops?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little, I mean, the things that I experienced at IIM Mumbai. So when we joined, the first thing that if you join any B school, the first thing that comes to your mind is SIP, because within few months, you'll be having your summer placements.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been told to read only one book. I mean, majority of time we had to spend on that book, which is called Chopra and Mandal, which is the Bible for us. I mean, the supply chain Bible for
I've
us.
heard of MD Taha's book as well on operations and supply chain.
Okay, I haven't heard that, because the only book that they read us, I mean, they made us read was the supply chain book
Chopra.
of Chopra and Mandal,
It
which
has
is
most
very,
of the things on ROP, reorder point, ROQ, EOQ model, all of that.
yeah. And yeah, so that's one. So they made sure the curriculum is designed in such a way that we have been exposed to all the areas of supply chain. It's not limited to the introduction part. If you go out there in corporate, and if you ask someone to, if you ask our students to do anything that they are doing right now in the corporate world, they'll do it easily, even better than them. So that is because how they teach us subjects, how they give us case studies, and we are very technically very strong. I mean, like I said, because most of us are engineers, and our professors are also, they have also done their PhDs, and most of them are engineers. So that is also a plus point for us. So they make sure that we understand the basics of supply chain, and considering that we have a enough infra. I mean, we have a different, I mean, we have a huge library, and which allows us to, get access to different case studies, and, books, and research paper as well. So these are all the things which made us understand supply chain better, and, be a better supply chain manager.
Better equipped professors, strong emphasis on the supply chain part, and having enough resources. That is
Yeah.
how IIM Mumbai helped you become a master of supply chain officer.
And
Let's
also
go.
an opportunity to work with corporate. So SIP is something that is individually. I mean, you are putting your individual efforts, and then you'll get a job placement or job offer. But NITIE has, I mean, they still have MOUs with different companies. So if you are connected through professors, and professors have a big research work as well. So if you are working with them, you'll get hands-on experience to work on live projects, and even the real world problem. So you can publish your research paper as well. So if you are really interested in supply chain operations, you should definitely get into NITIE.
About the live projects part, do you get a little bit of remuneration as well during them, or is it going to be unpaid?
It depends. So if you can, let's say, if you can, measure your results and tell them the impact that you have created, not some buzzy words that I reduce timelines and I reduce the lead time and stuff like that, but actually if they could see the potential, yeah, if you can quantify your results, then you'll definitely get some amount from the corporate. And people don't really care about the money, I mean, during MBA, because yeah, not only that, I am not very, I'll be totally blunt. They want different offers in their hand. They want a PPI. So if things are bad, they can directly avail that PPI and get into that company.
So you are saying that all the professors who have a little bit of types with the companies, they can help you in placements as well, in the final offers as well.
No, so let's say we have an MAU with MOU with I think All Cargo or Genpack. So the professors who are working and leading Genpack from our college, they will float different projects. And if you are really interested in projects, and if you really pitch and sell yourself to the professor, they'll allow you to work with Genpack. So whatever work you're doing with Genpack, if they're very happy with yourself, then they'll give you a PPA as well, and sometimes the money as well. But like I said, money is not very important, because I mean, people want a secure job, no? So maybe that's how. Again, all of these things are
You get money
subjective.
out of your secured job though, right? How is the
Yeah.
job secured if you don't get money? But yeah, what you're saying makes sense. That it's about the learning at the end of the day eventually, right? You're getting to put yourself through the experience. Yeah, on a basic scale, it makes sense. And moving ahead with that as well. So when I talk of the placements, of the actual final placements, so is there a typical day zero, day one, day two structure, or is there a
Yeah.
difference to that?
Yeah. We have a day zero, day one, day two
That's
structure. Consulting companies, they come beforehand, and the typical
Yeah,
MBA
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
placements.
what about the distribution? Like, I know supply chain and house must be the biggest recruiter, but if we talk in percentage terms, wow, what are the numbers?
I think, I mean, 30%, 30 to 35%, let's say 40% is in supply chain operations. And if you want 25 to 30%, that would be in consulting.
Result.
Yeah, we have a very specific, ops consulting domain as well. There are companies like Army, GP, they hire from NITIE only for supply chain and operation consulting as well. And even management consulting and tech consulting as well. The rest will be divided in, product and marketing and finance.
Product as in product management, PM
Yeah,
roles,
yeah,
PM tech
PM, PM.
roles.
Yeah.
So 40% is where PM, marketing and finance gets into.
No, so 40 would be
35,
supply chain.
25, 40. Acha, 40,
Yeah,
30, 30.
yeah, yeah.
Acha, acha, makes sense. And if I talk of the roles that are offered in marketing, finance, and PM, are the
Hmm.
companies reputable or are the companies on a fledgling stage that they
So
need to become that big?
yeah, let's talk about marketing. So if I can recall at that time, I mean, during our time, there were PNG. PNG was hiring from NITI for sales specifically, and TCPL hired, even Pidilite. They're trying. So you see,
Even
you need
Mondelez, I guess, right? Even Mondelez was there.
yeah. So things are, changing right now, because the companies, they cannot directly offer you final placements. So they cannot come and visit you. I mean take your students from for the final placement. They'll do a trial. They'll come and give internships to your students. And if your seniors, or if, let's say, if your alums are performing well in that particular domain, then they'll come back and hire. So they
Oh,
also have to justify, no? So for
they're
example,
starting to scrutinize the badge. That's what you're trying to say.
yeah, yeah. So they are also paying us some money. They want better results.
Well,
There
they
are
want.
different colleges which are specialized in marketing. So why not? They can directly go to MICA, or they can directly go to any other specific marketing college, let's say L, to get resources. But
FMS.
yeah, even FMS, yeah. So
So even during the SIP, the ratios remain the same, 40, 30, 30.
yeah, so in finals, uh, the thing will change. The ratio will change, because SIP, they are experimenting. They'll take you for different roles as well. But in finals, they mostly, majority of the roles are lying in supply chain and operations, and they and tech as well. I mean, for example, tech consulting as well. And
Mm-hmm.
even banks are there for PM roles, and uh, even TAS visits for their general management programs
As
as well.
visits. Oh.
Yeah, it
But
has been visiting for the last 3 years, 2 years.
so this is the reason why the placements are skewed so heavily towards supply chain and ops and technologies, because we have a very heavy engineers background in IIM Mumbai.
Yeah,
But after the transition, maybe these things are subjected to change, if I'm not
yeah,
wrong. Maybe these are
yeah.
bound to change.
So
So
we
yeah.
had seen that. I mean, if
Acha.
you talk about our juniors,
Hmm.
like I said, Pidilite and other companies, they hired, even Nika, and I really can't think about any other bigger brand, and even TCPL, like I said. So they hired during SIP only, during our juniors SIP, uh, for the role of marketing.
Oh. So yeah, there is a transition bound to happen, and this will again go on to achieve a little different picture of whatever we discuss about placements.
You see, Kripal, I think if you think about from the industrial point of view, NITI is still a bigger brand than IIM Mumbai. But
Exactly.
yeah, so but now I don't have to convince my non-engineers or people who are not working in corporate, or let's say my fufa, for instance. I shouldn't just convince him that I'm doing my MBA from an engineering college. They don't know what NITI is, but people who are working in industry, they know what NITI is.
But
So
Abhishek, this happens to be one of the most significant of trade-offs. NITIE has that brand value, that legacy of being a supply chain ops, the mecca of supply chain ops, and then in just 1 year, you're letting go of the very essence of your program. in this attempt to become an IIM. So that is a very huge trade-off. And I'm
Yeah,
still
but
figuring it all out.
no, it was required. I mean, we have been, because the perception you have, it's still there. Because in any communication, if you see, we still have formally known as NITIE only, because it is our identity, and we are not going to, no one is going to forget NITIE, because
Discount you guys as
uh,
non-supply chain. No one is going to
yeah.
discount.
I'll tell you a funny incident. So when I went on floor and talked with the different managers at delivery, so I told them that I'm from IIM Mumbai, and they were like, "Which college is that?" And I said NITIE, and they're like, "Oh, you're from NITIE." And if you can see the transition, I mean, the happiness on their face, because they know that we are operations and operations are us. So
Wow, 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 wow. That will play a part. But you know that goodwill and that brand valuation aspect.
yeah.
People need to sort of keep that forever. That oh, we are formerly NITIE, we are formerly NITIE. We need to emphasize. Oh man. And moving ahead with the this thing about the placements again. So when we talk of supply chain and ops roles, like what is the average cash to CTC ratio? Like what is the fixed component when we talk of the entire packages?
I think let's talk about CTC. It would be around 30.
Mhm.
Considering I'm talking about last year, I am not very sure about the current phase, because the market is bad right now,
Very, very
and
bad.
there are different IIMs who are yet to place students, and how things are right now.
Yeah.
So considering the last 3 years or last 2 years, uh, let's say annual placement reports,
Mhm.
it's around 30 CTC, and in hand I mean, the fix component would be around average around 20 to 21, I think.
Oh, the fixed component will be 22. That's very handsome. That's very good. That's like
So
75%.
yeah, and when we consider the placements, I mean, of NITI, we also consider the amount of PPOs that we get. So
Mm.
we have a very handsome number of PPOs that we receive every year. So
Mhm.
that is also a very big part of our placements that justifies our numbers,
Wow. Out of
because
a batch of 500 people, probably 200 will get a PPO.
yeah,
That's what you're trying to say.
yeah, around say.
Wow. And with the nature of how the placement activities are organized, is there a typical placement cell in place? Like all
No,
that culture, etc. No.
no, it's a student-driven placement committee. We have a placement cell, and
Mhm.
it's not like any other college, but it is like any other college. You know what I mean, right? So
So there are these typical regulations in place that you have to shave your beard, come
yeah,
in
yeah,
proper attire, or else there
yeah,
will be penalizations, etc. Everything is like everything.
yeah, you have to pay fines. But our senior place comps were good, so I think we had a very good experience in terms of placement, and
You're meaning
we were
to
very
say that
happy.
your batch is not good enough?
No, we haven't experienced that. No, I mean,
That's
so,
makes sense. Makes sense. So Abhishek, again about the placements as well. So were there any regulations in place which could prevent you from getting a final offer in hand? Like for
yeah,
example, there is a yeah. Please, please.
so you can continue. I mean, whatever you want to say.
So, for example, there is a person who's found to be breaching code of conduct or probably indisciplined or is not submitting whatever he's expected to. Does that have a liability on his eligibility for sitting for final placements?
Yeah, in most of cases, I mean, they need to pay some fine, but I don't think so that they won't be able to sit for placements. The extreme cases when the company offers you a PPO and you deny accepting that PPO,
Hmm.
that can, in a market like this, that can, make
Severely
them
sabotage your
leave.
chances. Mm-hmm. Makes
We have
sense.
seen that, so that is a college will not entertain that.
And is there anything unique with the placements as well? Like any body that sort of prevents all of this from happening, all of this harassment in the name of, disciplining people?
I think we have a disciplinary committee as well. So if you are not, comfortable or not very happy with the things, you can directly,
Approach
talk to
them.
them, and yeah, they'll take corrective actions as well, and they'll make sure that the responsible person is penalized. So,
Makes sense. Makes sense. And now setting aside the placements part, so talking about your experience personally, how was the
okay.
exposure at the campus? When you talk of sharing a cohort with all the engineers, were
Mhm.
you missing out on the diversity impact?
No. So
No.
I'll give you. So I have a timeline in my mind. So we'll start with the timeline. I think if
Yeah,
that would
sure.
be better. So first year is all about SIP and committees, and to understand that what is MBA and what is NITI and what are you going to do. in the first year. So when we join, any B school student can relate to this. When you join, the first thing the seniors will ask you to do is make your CV. So it starts with the master CV, then you need to refine your CV points, and it comes to the main proper CV format that the Placecom will share. So we have two different bodies which helped us during placement. One of them was admission committee. So we have a program called Budweiser. So we will be assigned 2 to 3 buddies based on our profile. So they will be our go-to persons. So and Adcoms, I mean, they also hired an external agency who will conduct GDs and mock PIs for us. And then the placement team will come into picture. We have a different study groups to keep that diversity in mind. We have people from different, streams, different work ex, people who are fresher in our group of 12 to 13. And my typical week would be every week. On every weekdays, we have a different typical mock GDs and mock PIs lined up. And after that, we had to go and meet during the study meet. We'll do the cases, and we'll talk about the stuff that is going right now. Every day we had to put an article or news reports in our group chat, which is being monitored by Placecom members. So they put in a lot of effort. So kudos to our placement team. The senior placement team. We have a very good bond with them. They helped us in each and everything. And when you, even though they had enough power, but they didn't,
Never misused.
misused it. So when you have a power, if you want to judge a person or their character,
Give
just
them
give
power.
power to them, and you'll see. So coming back to the timeline. So after the SIP, so it's all about SIP for initial 2 to 3 months. After that, we have a business fest and the clubs selection thing. So like I said, so clubs, the only reason why I lived my MBA life and the MBA dream is because of my committee.
Wow.
We had a, the perception of my committee was that we do a lot of party, and we go to different trips, and we plan a lot of things, and the traditions that we have, the parampara, anushasana, and pratishtha, the things that we have in our committee. So this is the one thing that I'm really proud of, and the friends that you have. So I have a lot of friends. When you say people, you'll not make friends after certain age. I think if you are getting into any B school, you'll get a lot of friends, and they'll be your everything for 2 years.
Mm.
If, for example, if you're not getting a PPO and you can't tell your parents that you're not getting a PPO, you are telling your friends, they'll make sure that you are stable
And
right now. Yeah. So there are a lot of, people. I'm really grateful to my friends and my committee members as well. So after committee, I think the best part about NITIE is we'll get 15 days of winter break. So
Mhm.
which is not very common in all of the B schools, and we have a 75% attendance criteria as well.
Mhm.
So we can bunk lectures as well sometimes and chill at our hostels.
Hostel rooms.
Yeah, but we had typical 9 to 7:30 day planned. 11 subjects we had to go through every module. We had total 7 modules including the summer internship, and so that is little hectic first year. And we do celebrate a lot of festivals as well, functions as well throughout the year. So be it Holi, be it let's say Pongal, or any of
Diwali.
the Diwali. Yeah, all of these things we celebrate at our campus. So that is the first year part. So in second year, there are two kinds of people. One, who are getting a PPO. You'll never find them in campus if they got a PPO. Second, they'll start exploring their life. So I have a few friends. They joined Cultfit. They said they want to learn ukulele because they got a PPO. They have nothing to do in life now. So that is the thing. And second would be people like me who didn't get a PPO. You need to work and prepare for your final placements, while at the same time the seniors who have helped you, I think it's time for you to give them back, right? So you need to give it back to your juniors as well. So when we complete our placements, the summer internship, then the juniors will come into the picture, and you need to start, you need to groom them as well, and you need to keep your things aside and give them specific time, so that they can also learn, because we got that from our seniors and we need to give it back. and we are not going to get anything, but it's a totally voluntary thing, and still we do it with pride and we help them with pride. And apart from that, then the major thing, the LRP and CIRP, that's what we call it, the final placement. LRP is for people who have work-ex for let's say at least 2 years. So company hires for a specific, they come for a specific criteria. So you can't even apply for those companies during LRP. It's a 1 week thing only. And then the CRP, which is the common recruitment process for everyone. So the only difference between first year and second year is during your SIP preparation, there are people who will monitor you, who will guide you, but during second year, you are on your own. There is no one who is going to, talk to you or make you study or do your work. You are matured enough to do whatever you want. And even the thing I forgot to mention, the alum exposure as well. So considering I am interested in operation, let's say for a planning role, we have a dedicated alumni committee team, so they'll make sure that you'll get interviews, mock interviews with the same person. Considering that Unilever is coming to the campus for a specific role, they'll make sure that there is a guy sitting right next to you, or maybe even online calls you'll set up, give mock interviews to that particular alum only. So things are like that, and the exposure that we get is completely different. So second year is all about parties, clubs, and if you are a PPO candidate, and the most important thing is live projects and case competition. So I don't think so. I mean, currently people are focusing on case competition, and they definitely should. That plays, I mean, case competitions, they can give you a dream job and also give you a lot of money. And so I myself, we have done a lot of case competition. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to win any one of this, but still, I mean, you get a chance
Experience
to,
counts.
yeah, I mean, you get a chance to actually understand the problem and do something about their problem. Some of them might be your dream company, so you'll work very, very, I mean, from your heart you'll work and you'll try to make their products or services better. So this is something that I felt, I mean, throughout my 2 years. Case com is very important, and people don't really talk about case competitions.
That's a very positive and gleeful representation of all the experiences that you've had for the past couple of years. But if
Yeah.
a couple of points really, raised my eyes and caught my attention is the fact that you have 11 modules and 11 subjects and 7 modules. There is
Yeah.
77 subjects.
No, so for first year we have average 11 subjects. So for example, I think 3 modules we had 11 subjects on an average. After that, the subjects will decrease, and it will be around 3 to 4. I mean, five subjects per module.
Five subjects. So Abhishek, if there's one thing that I could make out of your experience is the fact that there are a lot of subjects and a lot of modules when you compare it with the rest of the IIMs across the country. So can you give a little breakdown of
Yeah.
that? A very intricate breakdown of that.
Yeah. So basically there are 3 different types of subjects that we have. One are the basic subjects that we have. Second is micro credits that we have to do. And third is the global supply chain, I mean, global course certifications that we have to do. So 3 different things. We have to do certain number of micro credits. We have to complete that. And we have to do certain number of this things called global course certifications as well. So during first year, we had around 10 to 11 subjects per module, and we have around 3 different modules. Fourth one is our internship. And then in the second year, we'll get to pick our electives. And based on the electives, we can, reduce the number of subjects as well. And we had around 3 to 4 subjects in the second year. So 12 and so around we have studied till now, we have completed around 50 subjects, if I'm not
50
wrong.
subjects, 50 subjects. And if I talk of
Yeah.
the first year, when you mentioned that there are 11 subjects per module, there are 3 modules.
Yeah.
So these are
Yep.
basics and micro credits.
So out of that, 9 are basic subjects, and I think one was the microcredit, and second was the GCC. I think two. I mean, total 11.
And when I talk of the basic subjects, it entails economics, statistics, etc. Or
Yeah.
is there a different
So
ballgame over here?
yeah, so you'll have different basics of marketing management, you'll have operations, you'll have supply chain, two different things. Some subjects from OBHR as well. You'll have subjects from finance as well, and even AI. The NITIE, they also focuses more on the AI part. So we have two different subjects for AI as well in the first year itself. So it ranges from, I mean, they cover everything, and even the strategy part also.
Wow, wow, wow. So talking of this thing marking structure, so how are you graded on all of these subjects? Like, is it totally internal or there is an external component as well?
No, I think I mean, it differs from module to module, I think. But we had to give unit tests, and we had midsems as well, and as the final tests. And I think 20 marks were in the hand of the professor, and out of 80 we had to give midsem of 30, and 50 marks is the final term. I mean, the final
And
exam.
both of these medsems
So
and
50, 30,
NSEMs are
20.
paper written examinations
Paper written, yeah.
on paper.
Nothing. Yeah, so for microcredit and for the course certifications, I mean global courses, we had a privilege to use the computer, and the online tests were there. But for all the basic subjects, we had to do pen and paper thing.
There is also a point of difference when I compare this marking structure with the rest of the colleges. Most of them have a very strong
Yeah,
emphasis on PPTs, on class participation, on
yeah,
CP, on PPT. Wow.
yeah.
And moving ahead
So
about,
so the
yeah,
20 marks, yeah. So the
20
20
marks
marks
includes
that I
that.
mentioned, yeah. So 50, 30, 20, like I said. So 20 marks is there for the PPT and the class participation and stuff like
Makes
that.
sense. Makes
The
sense.
desperate class participation, whatever you take.
And also about the kind of pedagogy that's in place when I talk of IIM Mumbai. How do you describe a typical lecture? Same typical case study discussion, or is there something else involved?
So it depends from the faculty to faculty, but I'll give you the best example. So we had a faculty, I mean, the faculty, he used to give us a detailed uh, plan of a particular lecture. So every lecture we get his email that we are going to discuss these things. You should read these things before coming to the class, and he was very particular about it. So if you haven't read the thing, he'll make you like read it on the spot, or he'll kick you out of the class. So there were some professors, I mean, they're very strict, and they know what they're doing in their life, right? So they really want you to understand and pay attention. If you can't, then you should just walk out, because most of us were there for attendance. So he'll give you attendance, and he'll kick you out of his class. So basically, PPTs are one thing that is very common in all of those lectures. But case studies, I mean, even during our exams as well, there were a lot of subjects which were case study based, and exams, just we have to apply whatever we have learned in the class for any marketing class or any OBHR classes. It was very interesting thing, because I took some subjects of OBHR and some for marketing because of that reason only. So you don't have to uh, you know memorize things for some subjects, and sometimes you have to do, sometimes you need to remember formulas or not. But apart from that, case study discussions were there. The industrial experience of a particular professor, that is also an important thing. We had professors who have worked and spent enough time in corporate to tell us how things are out there. I mean, you can't trust someone who hasn't
Doesn't know how
been.
it works.
Yeah. So these were all the things.
That makes a lot of sense. And given the fact that most of them had a decent amount of industrial experience as well, that does
Yeah.
go on to play a very major part. And talking of
Yeah.
the global certificates that you mentioned about, is there an international exchange program in place as well when I talk of IIM Mumbai?
Yeah, so there were few opportunities to go to Barcelona, or I think one of them was in Germany. I can't recall the university, but it's not at that pace. And I don't know if any of my batchmates or even my seniors went to, you know, those kind of programs. So I can't really recall. I was really not interested in that, those kind of a things. So that's how.
So NITIE is a closely knit place where most of the people are pursuing three major programs. Is there an option of pursuing BTech as well over there?
No, so I'll tell you the different programs that we have. So one of the interesting program is called DGMP, which is for defense people. So even the people who have spent, let's say, 20 to 30 years in public services or civil services, they'll they'll come to NITIE and they'll get within 3 to 4 months, they have a specific course for their leadership program. So when they need to switch from the government sectors or army to corporate world, they come and do this kind of things. Apart from that, we also have something called, I mean, the PhD and everything is there, but also there are different executive MBA programs are there for
Makes
others.
sense. But all in all, it's a management place. There's no influx of
And
engineering candidates. So, is there a startup incubation program in place as well?
I am not very sure about that. So basically we have different committees who will, support your idea if you have any fundings. And throughout the year, we have different startup entrepreneurs who will come and, guide you how you can invest your money. And I know a few of my friends, they actually like started their own thing. So I mean,
Acha. But it was on
so
their own
I'll tell you an
independent.
interesting fact. So few years ago, it didn't happen during our tenure at NITI.
Then
But
yeah.
before that, there used to be a marketing event, so which is led by one of the professor who is really into entrepreneurship. So we had to, make stuff and go in the market and sell it. Toys we had to make, and we have to go in the market and sell it. So it's one of the thing. I mean, they teach you how to sell as well. So back in 2000 or 2010, NITI used to be a college which not only focused on supply chain but also sales and even tech as well. If you see our alums who are working, who joined or who completed their MBA from NITI in the year of 2020, 2010, you can see all of them are in sales. Some of them are in IT as well. So not only supply chain, but all of these things are also very crucial for our alums. And we have a good number of entrepreneurs as well who are doing a really good job. I mean, 4 unicorns, if I'm not very wrong. We also have 4 unicorns from our college who are founders.
Wow. Wow. And about the part where you mentioned that you get to develop a product in-house and then get to sell it.
Yeah,
That is the biggest learning
yeah. The
experience
art
that
of
anyone
selling.
can do. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow, the art of selling. And apart from that, so if we had to summarize this episode and come to an end towards your experience of IIM Mumbai, what is that one advice you would give to all the candidates out there?
I am not in a position to give advice. Like I said, I'm not here to give any gyan, but man, just go out there and experience it yourself. My definition of, success, or my definition of happiness would be different from yours, but you should at least go and, you know look for any B school. No, just not go there just because it's an IIM. Go there because you really want to, learn and prepare for the best. I am getting a lot of messages from people, I mean aspirants. They'll ask me the average package, and then based on that only they'll decide. But my advice would be your package would be the lowest, it can be the highest, and it can be the average of your batch. So don't only focus on the money part, just focus on the learnings as well. And in the long run, everyone will come at par, and you'll definitely do good in corporate. Just be yourself, man. Go out there and experience. There is no some words of wisdom. Everyone will have their own life. They'll try their own things.
So that'll be pursue your subjective version of reality. If I had to give a
Yeah,
brief
yeah.
encapsulation of that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
you have this very good thing of, articulating stuff. That's a very thing. I I'll definitely learn something like that from you.
no way. I have lots to learn on supply chain and ops from you too, given your
Yeah, yeah.
working at delivery. With that, we come towards the end of discussing all about your journey at IMB, and I hope that it's not IMB, it's IMM.
It's
I
IIM
still get
Mumbai.
confused with
No,
Bombay.
it's not IIM. Bangalore people will start messaging me. We never saw you in campus, and you start, giving gyan.
Giving done on I'm Bangalore
I'll be
student.
a rancho of their own batch, man. The irony. So don't do that.
Yeah, sure. I'll make sure I'll not do that. But yeah, with that, we come
Yeah.
towards the end. It was a very insightful episode on your experience at IMM, and I hope that you have a very good and a very stellar career at this thing, delivery. I hope everything falls into place.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kripal. And I also wish you the same. All the best for your corporate career as well. And this thing, I really want you to make a living out of it, and you're doing a really good job.
Wow.
Pushing people like me to come at your platform and speak. I am very blunt about whatever things that I have said. So all these views are very personal to me. So don't quote me anywhere, okay? Yes.
Hope we don't invite any controversy, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I hope the same, man. Thanks.